All right, all right. Hey, smart money community, how you guys doing? Great to be here today. Great to be with you guys today. Super excited to connect and chat with you guys. Coach Jen isn't here today. She is off this week, but wanted to come in here live. I'm going to just searching the smart money community right now on Facebook, but wanted to come in here live and just share with you guys the exact strategy that our clients are using here to just kick butt, take names, chew bubblegum. No, the exact strategy our clients are using to pay off $10,000 to $20,000 in like as little as 4 to 6 months. And they do it like clockwork. And want to walk you guys through this because we've had a ton of success this year. Year to date, we are at like $1.3 million of debt paid off. So that's since January. Today's December 1st, when we're doing this here. So 11 months, $1.3 million. Now, here's the thing, guys. I'm not one of those companies or one of those coaches that has like 10,000 clients. We're very selective. We take on roughly 5 to 10 clients a month. And so if you do the math here, so far this year, I think we brought on about maybe 80 clients this year. So it's not like 1.3 over, 10,000 clients. It's $1.3 million over 80 clients that we've worked with in the last, 11 months here. So when I do the math, that's an average of about $16,250 is what the average client has paid off. Now, some have done more, right? We've got those that have done a lot more. We've got those that have done a little bit less, but there isn't anybody who hasn't made progress in the program, provided that they don't give up on themselves. If they give up, obviously you're not going to get the results. It's like buying a gym membership and not going to the gym. You ain't going to lose any weight, right? So, but for everyone that's stuck it through, that's, held our hand every step of the way. They fought through tears. They fought through, insecurities, but they made it out on the other side here, and they're on the track to winning with their finances. I want to walk you through what they have done, because the truth is success leaves clues, right? And if you can look at the clues and implement the clues, you're going to have success as well. Right. There's no doubt. And by the way, no, not everyone was a double income earner. No, not everyone made 10K a month. The average person, about 70-80% of our clients are single income earning parents. Let me say that again. Single income earning parents. We got clients who are, when they came in, they were making as low as $2,000 a month. And we got clients who are making more, obviously more. The average person we work with makes around 4 to 6. So this isn't just those who are making, $10,000 a month that are getting these types of turnarounds. Now, those who are making $10,000 a month are bigger numbers, right? They're not seeing a 20K turnaround in 6 months. They're seeing a 30, 40, 50, 60K turnaround, right? So the numbers are usually bigger for the income earners there. But the average person, about $16,000 since the beginning of this year. So $1.3 million is what we've seen the average person pay off. That's debt paid off. That's money saved in the bank as well, right? Because that's what we help people do. And so I want to hop in with you guys and share the secret sauce, because it's not really a secret at all. That's the problem, is what I'm going to share with you. You guys are probably going to be like, what? They're just doing that and they're getting that big, but they're getting results that big. It's like, it's a secret because most people in our society, in this culture, this day and age, don't know how to do it. But it's not a secret because it's out there. And I'm about to tell you, I'm about to give all that information to you. It's out there, but you got to implement. You got to do the work. You got to be focused. You got to be disciplined, right? And making it happen. So go grab that pen and paper. Go get that pen and paper and write this down. Cause I've got, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. 5 things that if you want to become debt-free, listen, January is 30 days away, or 31 days. Yeah, 30 days away. We're December 1st, 30 days away into the new year. And I don't know. I haven't been following on the internet very much, but when I was back in the day, when I was, buying courses, information courses, everyone was trying to sell me New Year's resolution, set your goals for the new year and all that stuff. And it's cool. It has its place, but here's what I found, and here's what's disturbing, is like 80% of New Year's resolutions are abandoned within the first 6 weeks of the year. And the top 2 New Year's resolutions that are every year, the top 2, they may switch around in terms of which one's number 1, which one's number 2, but always the top 2 is a weight goal, like a fitness goal, and a money goal. And they switch around. Some years it's money first, then fitness, but those are always the top two. And then you got business and some other stuff, right? But the top two are always money and fitness. And what saddens my heart, what breaks my heart, and this happened to me for so many years, but what breaks my heart is every January I got my hopes up saying this was the year. This was the year I was going to take control. And within a month or two, I was back to the norm. And there's a reason for that. I can't talk about that today. Maybe I'll talk about that in a couple of weeks here, since a lot of you will probably be trying to set New Year's goals. Maybe I will talk about that, why most people don't follow through and hit their goals. Majority of people will never hit their goals, and there's a specific reason for that. And I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna write that down. Give me a sec here. New Year's goals. All right, I'm gonna talk about that maybe next week or the week after, but really dive into this. And it's like, yeah, most people set goals and they won't get there. And part of the problem is they always wait to set that goal, and you can't wait. If you have a desire to live debt free, if you have a desire to be debt free, you can't wait for something to happen together. You got to say yes today. Yes, it's going to happen today. Yes, we're going to go get debt free. We're going to start today. I don't care if I got to wait for the next paycheck. I'm making a decision to start today. So are you ready? You got that pen and paper? I've ranted a little bit here. You got that pen and paper. This is what people have done. Okay. Number one, I wrote this down here. The first thing, when people get into our program, the first thing we do is we take a look at what's coming in and what's going out. AKA, we call it a cash flow plan. We've talked about that a bunch in this here. We get them to do a cash flow plan. Now, if you, the analogy I like to use is, if you think of a boat on water, okay, you put a boat on water, but you poke a bunch of little holes at the bottom of the boat. What happens? The boat's going to eventually sink, right? And what happens is, when it comes to your finances, most people's finances are the same way. They've got a good income or a decent income, or they've got an income, they've got all their expenses, but there's a bunch of little holes. They don't have clarity as to exactly what's going on. They think they spend X, but they spend X. Or they think they make X, but they make X. There's no real clarity as to what's going on. So they got all these little holes in their finances. And then their finances over time, they start to sink. They start to feel overwhelmed. They start to feel stressed out. They start to think, oh my gosh, why can't I make it happen? I make a good income, but I've got nothing to show for it. Why do I work so hard and feel broke? It's because you've got a bunch of holes in your boat. And so the first thing we do is we take a look at your income. We call it a cash flow plan. It's a little different than a budget. Okay, the way people have taught you to budget is wrong. The way people budget is wrong. It doesn't work, and there's so many reasons for that. I won't go into that today. But the way people have been taught to budget is wrong. They treat it like a P&L statement, not a cash flow plan. So we do what we call a cash flow plan. All right, and we get them connected on a cash flow plan. Now you got to understand this: doing it once isn't going to fix your problems. I think that's where a lot of people fail. Is they try and do it once, or they try and do it twice. It's like they go, here's my income, here are my expenses, and then they go swipe. Oh no, it's the end of the month and we've overspent. Shoot. And month number two, here's my income, here are my expenses. They lay it all out. Okay, the budget balances, it's gonna work. And they swipe. Oh no, we've overspent. And then they start to say things like, well, budgets just don't work, or my situation is just too different. And the truth is, your situation is not different. And you're right, budgets don't work because people do them wrong. The cash flow plan that we help people implement, we work with business owners, we work with people who only make commission, we work with people who are paid twice a month, we work with people who are paid weekly, we work with people who are paid monthly, we work with people who have fluctuating seasonal incomes, and a cash flow plan works for every single one of them. Every single one of them. And so the first thing we do is we do the cash flow plan. Okay, so that's number one. We plug all the holes in the boat. We get the water off the boat here, and the boat starts to lift up again. Okay, the average person that does it the way that we teach it here, the cash flow plan, finds an extra roughly $300 to $500 a month. So think of that for a sec. If you're on the bottom there, you're finding an extra $300 a month. That's an extra what, $3,600 a year. Boom. What could you do with an extra $3,600 a year? Is that a vacation? Is that saving up for a new car that you could pay cash for? Is that investing and becoming wealthy? Right? Now, what if you're at the higher end? What if you're around $500 a month? That's roughly about what, $6,000 a year? Now, is that 2 vacations a year for you? Right? Is that a brand new car every 4 years for you? Right? Like that's how powerful this first step is, cash flow planning and doing it right. Is that's an extra $300 to $500 in your pocket every single year once you get this going. That's a lot of money. Like you can pay down you can pay down a lot of debt with that, right? The average Canadian, average American roughly has about 20, when I last checked, it was roughly about 21,000 to $25,000 in consumer debt. 6, 12, that's 4 years to be completely debt free. Now we could do a lot faster than that, but if you just did that alone, that could pay off most of your debt within 3 to 4 years. Okay, so number one is a cash flow plan. Now, number two, cash flow plan alone isn't going to get you to the goal. Number two is you've got to have a clear vision for the future. I'll say that again. A clear, vivid vision for your future. And here's what I mean by that. I live up here where it gets cold in the winter. Well, most of the winter. It's been actually pretty warm so far. But we have a term up here that we use, and it's called snowbirds. And what that is we got a bunch of retired people that live up here in the summertime, and they go south in the winter. We call them snowbirds. Now, a lot of people up here, when it gets really cold, they say, oh, I wish I could go somewhere warm. Somewhere warm isn't a destination. Like, where do you want to go? Do we want to go to Florida? Are we going to California? Are we going to Texas? Are we going to Hawaii? Are we going to Australia? Like, where are we going? And that's how most people, that's the vision most people have for their finances. They say things like, well, I want to be debt free. And it's like, that ain't a goal. That ain't a vision. I want to be debt free. One day I want to be wealthy. One day I want to have money in the bank. Like, one day, here's what I found is one day is not on the calendar. I don't open my calendar and one day, one day is in the future somewhere. One day is not there. So what you got to do is you got to get very vivid on that vision. You want to be debt free when? How much debt do you want to pay off? Is it 20K? Is it 40K? Is it 60K? Is it, we got one client right now that's got multiple six figures in debt. Is it $250,000 of consumer debt? The cool thing is she got very vivid on what she wants, and she's going to be debt free in 2.5 years. $250,000 paid off in 2.5 years. That doesn't happen anywhere. Your bank is going to tell you it's impossible. Your mortgage broker is going to tell you you're an idiot or you're a fool for doing it. Just put it in the house. We'll talk about that in a sec. Just roll it in the house today, and that's what she got offered to do that. That was an offer she was given. Just roll all your debt into the house and start fresh. It's like, yeah, no, we don't do that. There's a reason why we don't do that. We'll talk about that in a sec. But it's like, the idea of being debt free one day, it will never happen for you. You don't have a strong enough vision. You got to give me a date. September 2022, I want to be debt free, or December 1st, 2022, I want to pay off $10,000. Like, you got to get specific. If you want to be terrific, you got to be specific. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is most people don't have a vivid vision of what their financial goals are. So that's the second thing we do is we get very clear, crystal clear on what that goal is. And by the way, don't set a goal based off of your limiting beliefs today. Where you are today should not be the thing limiting you from setting that goal of where you want to be in 12, 24, 36 months. Now, don't get me wrong, it's going to take time to get there, but it can happen a lot faster than your current belief system will allow you to think. Just going to say that. Yeah, if you're stuck, if you've got stress, if you're overwhelmed, if you're frustrated, if there's doubt, 100% your current belief system is tricking you. And what I mean by that is it's whatever goal you set, it can happen a lot faster than your current belief system's allowing you to believe it can happen. Hopefully that makes sense. But you got to get vivid. Hey, it's cold out. I want to go to San Diego, California, and then put a plan on how to get there. Number three is, now that we've got that vivid vision, now we've got that idea of where we want to go, and like it's crystal clear. Now we start to work a plan for the debt. Okay. And before I talked about, a lot of people will remortgage their debt. A lot of people will consolidate their debt. I'm sure some of you have probably done that. A lot of people will do a bankruptcy. They feel like there's no way out. I had a client one time reach out to me. It was actually Christmas time. It was about 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago. And he's like, Mike, I don't know what to do. I'm lost. Everyone's telling me I should go bankrupt. I was like, okay, hold on. Let's meet up. Let's take a look at what's going on. I met up with him and his wife. He was, they had a little daughter at the time, 1-year-old girl at the time, sweetest little girl. Oh my gosh, so cute, so cute. But I sat in their living room with them and they were scared. The thought of bankruptcy scared them. Everyone told them they had to do it. I looked at the situation and said, guys, don't go bankrupt. Bankruptcy is going to ruin your life for the next 7 years. We can get you debt free in the next probably 3 years. If you're willing to work a plan, if you're willing to hustle, if you're willing to be what I call defiantly committed to getting your results, AKA you're willing to do what it takes, not give up, you can probably be debt free in about 3 years. And they never did the bankruptcy. And guess what? They start paying off that debt one by one by one by one. And they got there. Everyone told them they should go bankrupt. The banks didn't want to help them. Everyone said, just go bankrupt. Do a reset. Start over. I'm telling you right now, bankruptcy is 7 years of hell. Because even once it's done, you've now got 3, 4, 5 years where it's on your record. It's just going to mess with your life. It's not the best way to do it. And so the reason why we don't recommend remortgages, the reason we don't recommend bankruptcies, the reason we don't recommend consolidation loans, to solve your problem is because what we have found, statistically speaking, is 88% of people that do those options fall back into debt. And it's simple. It's because the way we do it here, the way we help people get out of debt is they've got to face that debt. Like, I'm sorry, but you got to face the debt, look at the giant that it is, and then you got to go run and beat it down into submission. If that makes sense here. And what happens is over the process of paying off the debt, the way that we teach people to do it is psychologically something happens within their psyche that they get to the point where they say, never, ever, ever again will I go into debt. Never again will I borrow money off a credit card. Never again will I borrow money for a car. Psychologically, they get there because of the process we bring them through. Bankruptcies, consolidation loans, remortgages don't get you to that psychological point. And so we figured out that getting out of debt is 80% habits, behaviors, overcoming your limiting beliefs, overcoming your self-doubt, overcoming your self-sabotage, and 20% mathematics. And so what we've done when people work with us one-on-one is, we put them on a plan to get out of debt. We show them how to do it properly, but then we go to town on really working on their limiting beliefs, which is the next step, by the way. So get on a plan to get out of debt. The next thing is we focus on their mindset. And you might be saying, Mike, mindset, really? Like, isn't that just in vogue right now? Here's the truth. If you have debt right now, you have a mindset problem. Yeah, I know life could have hit you with something. I know life could have hit you with an unexpected event. I get that. But if you are in debt right now and you desire to live debt-free, there is a mindset issue. Whether it's a limiting belief, whether it's self-doubt, self-sabotage, whether it's your habits and behaviors, there's something in the mindset that's causing you to not live that life of being debt-free. And so that's the next thing we do here is we really start to focus in on what's causing, what are we telling ourselves that are keeping us stuck? What lies are we telling ourselves? What are we telling ourselves to cope with? Because we use coping mechanisms all the time. One of my coaches and mentors in my life, she used to say, Mike, we're all meaning-making machines. And at first I was like, meaning-making machines? What are you talking about? What do you mean by that? And she said, whenever life happens to us, wherever we end up in life, we make a meaning for that thing. Some of us call it God. Some of us say, well, that's God's choice in our life, and we'll submit to God. Some of us call it the universe. Some of us call it chance. Some of us call us you reap what you sow. But we all attach a meaning to the events in our lives. We all attach a meaning to where we are in our life. And so what we need to do, and again, if you've been stuck, like if you've been in debt for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, there's a lot of coping mechanisms around you still being in debt. 100% guaranteed, whether you realize it or not, there's a lot of coping mechanisms to you being in debt. There's a lot of coping mechanisms to you swiping that credit card again and again and again, even though you know that you should not do that. Sometimes we'll use COVID as a coping mechanism. Oh, COVID's here. I'm not sure about the future. Let's put it on the credit card. Whatever. We always have a coping mechanism. We're meaning-making machines for things that happen in life. And so the next thing we do here is after we get on a plan for the debt, now we really start to work on that mindset. What are the limiting beliefs that we've been telling ourselves for the last, you name it, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years and beyond? What are the excuses we've been giving ourselves to not get debt free? Is it that we're afraid? Is it that we don't believe becoming wealthy is good? Is it that we believe that wealthy people are evil? Because that's what's causing us to stay in debt, is we believe that debt's, that there's good debt and there's bad debt. That there's so many things here, right? I can't go into all of it today. But I have noticed there's a lot of people that will not get out of debt because they believe that becoming wealthy, having money in the bank, inherently makes them evil. Or their friends and their family will look at them differently. And so it causes them to stay stuck in debt payments. Now, you may not have that limiting belief, but that's a big one that we found in a lot of people when they sit down and actually examine the real reason for not getting out of debt or not, building wealth or not putting money in the bank and saving, as they fear that others will judge them for that. That's one thing, then you got your habits and behaviors, right? The self-sabotage, all that stuff. And so, when you think of your mindset, I want you to think of a garden for a second. Anyone here that has a garden knows that if you do nothing to the garden over time, weeds will overtake that garden, right? And if you let the weeds overtake that garden long enough, they become hardy. And what I mean by that is it become harder to take out. From my experience, right? When I bought my first home, we did not know anything about gardening, and oh my gosh, the weeds were crazy. Weeds got crazy. What I figured out is our minds are a lot like a garden. And for the majority of people that are stuck in debt, that can't get out of debt, that are just like, they want to get out of debt, they know they should, but they fall back in. A lot of it has to do with the weeds and the mindset. And so what we do here, and what you need to do if you want to win financially long-term, is you got to pull out those weeds, rip them out, right? Those limiting beliefs, the self-sabotage, the guilt, the fear, the stress, the overwhelm. You got to start to rip that stuff out. Because the truth is, you can't make decisions. You can't make good decisions in a fear-based mindset. You can't make good decision in a lack-based mindset. Just can't. You can't. Not long-term. So you got to really pull that out. And then you got to lay down some good seed, water it, get some sunshine, if you know what I'm saying here, in that mind. And there's ways that people do that. There's ways that we walk people through that quite a bit here. Because here's the truth. I'm not going to lie. Most people should know how to get out of debt. Right? Most people have the information to do a budget. Most people have the information. They know they should spend less than they make. They know they shouldn't use credit cards, but they're not. They're doing things against what they know they should be doing. What is that? That's mindset stuff. That's beliefs. That's limiting beliefs. Okay. So we really start to master master that mindset and really, give them a new identity around money. That's the next thing people do here to get these big results. And then the last thing, guys, and this is just so true, whether it's in finances, whether it's in fitness and business, you can look at almost any other industry and you can see that this is 100% true. They have a mentor. Number 5 is they have a mentor by their side. Let me say that again. They have a mentor by their side, which means they have accountability. Like, you do the research, every piece of research out there will tell you when you have accountability, you perform better, you get your results faster, and you sustain your results longer. Every single research out there will tell you accountability will get you to your results faster. So how are these people paying off $10,000 to $20,000 in 4 to 6 months? They've got accountability. We're showing them how to do it. Listen, I lived it. I've been where you are. I was $80,000 in debt 12 years ago now. It was 12 years ago. 12, 13 years ago. Wow. $80,000 in debt. I tried everything that you've tried. We tried doing the budget. We tried listening to our mortgage person who said, just consolidate it all into the mortgage. She didn't sound like that, but I'm making her sound like that. The banks, they try to make, they want to be the magicians in our life, make the debt, make it disappear, just put it onto a 0% loan or something like that. None of it worked. None of it worked. It wasn't until I got a mentor that was where I wanted to be and show me the exact steps on how to get there. Show me the pitfalls along the way. Show me, hey, you're probably going to start to burn out right about here. So let's do X, Y, and Z so you don't burn out. And 24 months later, we were debt-free. We weren't making we weren't even a 6-figure income earning family. We were making an average income, but I was defiantly committed to getting my results. And I worked on each and every one of these steps. And that's why we teach it the way we do today. And the best part is most people can get out of debt. Most people can't stay out of debt. They get out and then they fall back. My goal is to get you to get out of debt and stay out of debt. That's what we've done. We paid off just over $80,000, and we've never, ever, ever walked back. Life has hit us hard. We've had to get new cars. We've had to replace cars. We have to replace AC units. Like, life has hit us hard, but we've never fallen back into debt. And that's the difference when you got world-class mentorship, when you got a world-class person in your life. All right. It's worked for me in my business. It's worked for me in my health. It's worked for me in my finances. Having mentors speak into me and share their way of doing things because they're where I want to be. If I'm not where I want to be, I'm missing something, right? It's like the old saying, you can be right or you can be rich, but you can't be both. Right? It's like they were where I wanted to be. I wasn't there. I had to stop making excuses and take their mentorship and do it. And every single person here that's paid off $10,000 to $20,000 or more has done that. They've gotten mentorship. They've gotten me and Coach Jen and Coach Neil around their corner. And here's the crazy part. No, like I said at the beginning, not everyone's a six-figure income earner. A lot of people are 3 to 6K a month. And they come in and they get the results. And I want to share this with you guys, not to boast. I'll show this to you, not to boast here, but to show you that, it's not, this isn't just a one-off case here. moneycoachmike.com/results is our success stories. Carmen and Robin are debt-free. They paid off $150,000. I think it took them 36 months. Jen, she came through. I remember our first call with Jen. She came through in April of this year. $21,000 paid off in 4 months. She came through in April. Single mom, single income earner. I'm so proud of you, Jen. If you're watching this, Jen, I'm so proud of you. You are amazing. Kim, she did her call with us, her first call with us, December 24th. You want to talk about committed? December 24th, she booked a call with us. Hopped on the phone with Coach Laura, said, I'm all in, I want to do this. She paid off $16K in 6 months. By June, she had paid off $16K, the biggest amount that she's ever paid off in that period of time. Robin, $15,000 in 6 months. Dennis and Leanne, $45,000 in 12 months. Whoa. It's not bad. Jason and Darcy, $20,000 in 6 months. Tim, $38,000, and I think for him it was about a year. $38,000, maybe a little bit less, and it goes on and on and on, guys. And I don't show you this to boast. I don't show this to puff my chest, say ha 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 ha, look what we can do. I show you this to help you overcome the fear of continuing to do it yourself. There's a lot of fear in getting mentoring. There's a lot of fear in having someone come alongside with you. And I want to show you this to get you out of that fear and say, with a mentor, you are better off with us. Hey, $22,000 paid off. $22,000 paid off. Erin is debt-free. I love Erin's story. So she came to us. She was about $24,000 in debt, and she wanted to become debt-free before she got married. And so she worked with us 6 months. She paid off all her debt. You can watch the whole story here. But the best part is literally yesterday, I saw pictures of her. She just got married. So proud of her for doing it. Erin, if you're watching this, good job. You are a rock star. So proud of you, Erin. You rock. Jeff and Cindy, $60K, 24 months. And so, I mean, again, it just goes on and on. I'm not going to show you everything here, but you can continue to, just scroll through and, success story after success story here. But the whole point is, guys, is every single one of these people that got these kinds of results, they had mentorship. They had a mentor on their side. They had someone to guide them when the banks try to come their way and offer them something different. When the mortgage broker came their way and try to offer them to remortgage into their house, they had me, they had a Coach Jen saying, no, that's not the best way to do this. If you want to live debt-free once and for all, if you want to get out of this suck and get into this life of abundance and this life of, just your dreams and your dream life here, you don't do it that way. They had us in their ear. And so, hey, listen, guys, it's almost the new year. And I want to say this, don't wait till January to get started. If you want to win with money in 2022, it starts now. The time is today, not January. Because if you wait till January, you're going to be a couple months behind getting started and winning. It takes a good couple months to turn it around and get started, right? So, hey, if you want to hit the ground running, now is the time to do this. Now, I'm not offering you the coaching program. What I am offering you is a 15-minute no pitch call. And what that is we hop on the call for 15 minutes. Essentially, it's an audit. I look at your finances. Hey, what's going on? How much do you make? How much debt do you have? Why haven't you been able to solve the problem? And it's 15 minutes. I'm not going to pitch you to come work with me. All right. Because the truth is, we're limited. We only take on 5 to 10 a month. Like, we don't take on hundreds and hundreds a month. But I'm offering the opportunity to hop on a 15-minute call with me. There's no pitch. It's 100% free. To take a look at your situation, take a look at your finances. Let's take a look at what's not working. Which one of these 5 things we just talked about do you feel you need the most help with? What are you lacking here on getting your goals and getting your results? That's what I want to offer you. And so If that sounds something like you want to do, if these results sound like something that you want to get in your life in the next 4 to 6 months, then hop on that call here. And the truth is, I don't know if I even remember the website to go to here. Give me 1 sec. I may not even have that available. Let me just double check here. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to comment below. Let's do it that way because I don't even have the website up. Yeah, oops. Hey, we all make mistakes. What I want you to do is I want you to comment below with me, okay, and say, hey, Mike, I want to hop on that 15 minutes. I want you to take a look at my situation. I want you to help me figure out why I'm stuck, why I pay off some debt and fall back into it, why I make a good income but have nothing to show for it, why I can't get ahead, why has it been 20 years and I'm still in this mess. All right, comment below with me. By the way, don't feel like, if you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want everyone to know, I'm hopping on a call. Every single person in this community is in your situation. They're here because they want help. They're here because they want to know more. They're here because they want to do better. So I want to encourage you, if this is you, hop down below, comment me, and what I'll do is I'll personally going to reach out to you. Okay, I'm going to send you a direct message. So you got to check your messages for that, and then we'll book a time. Okay, we'll hop on that call there and we'll take a look at what's working, what's not working. We'll take a look at what step you're missing here. And so that you can make the next 90 days your best 90 days. All right. So here's a recap. Cash flow is what they do. They get a clear vision for their future and their goals of what they want to do here. They get on a plan to get out of debt. They actually work it. They focus on their mindset because that's probably the number one reason most people stay stuck for their whole lives is because their mindset isn't dialed in. Then number 5 is they get a mentor on their side here. And that's what this call is all about. Have an expert look at your situation and say, hey, you need to work on X, Y, and Z. All right. We love you guys, but this is how the average person pays off $10,000 to $20,000 in 4 to 6 months with us, is by implementing these 5 things. All right. So comment below with me. I'll be happy to reach out to you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Love you guys. Have a great December. December's here. Santa's here. Christmas is here. This is going to be awesome. I can't wait. All right. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.